And welcome back to Battle of the Bulge, day by day for December 18th. So, things are still looking good for the Germans, but not great. The Führer Big Light Brigade has come in here, my first reinforcement, but the Allies have also been substantially reinforced by the Airborne over here in the west and by the 30th Infantry Division up here. So let's get going before any of those reinforcements can kick in. First thing I want done is to get the panzers moving here in the center. So in the name of concentrating all the force I possibly can, I'm going to reinforce them with the infantry. And even though this is the 1st Infantry Division dug into some pretty rough terrain, you see now that all these forces are attacking together, they're not going to have much problem seizing territory and forcing the Americans into retreat. Unfortunately, there are more Americans on the way. Had a cat decide she wanted to play too. So the Airborne comes east, and already there's another defense line behind this one starting to form that I'm going to have to worry about. So the obvious move is perhaps to take these panzers and keep going north towards the Meuse, but I'm not going to do that, and I'll tell you why. Liège and Verviers are going to continue to be Allied reinforcement centers throughout the game. Attacking them means that the Allies can just keep dumping reinforcements on me while my forces are good and far away from any possible help, and that just doesn't sound like fun to me. So what I'm going to do instead is turn west and see if I can't finish off the big red one. No, guys, you're supposed to load the real ammunition this time. Oh well. Now, I've left myself a little vulnerable here in Trappont. We'll see if the AI decides to exploit that. And it's not going to. I might have, but on the other hand, it would mean creating a salient, which is not always what you want to do either. Regardless, I'm not going to give them another choice. You always have to be covering your flanks, as the Germans. Always, always. You cannot afford to... Oh dear. Unfortunately, as you've just seen, as you stretch out to cover your flanks, if you don't keep support forces moving up from the rear, well, you can get overextended, and that's where I'm starting to pay the price. I'll deal with that in a minute. Right now, I want to try to siege Bastogne before the 10th Armored can move up and spoil my whole day. So for now, I have overwhelming force, although not apparently so overwhelming. And we'll force the Americans into a retreat, and we have taken Bastogne. So the Americans are reinforcing their line here, which is a good move. Right now, I don't really have anything that can threaten the 7th Armored supply lines, but I could. And the cupboard is starting to look a little bare up here, which is definitely a cause of concern. So what I'm going to do is take the 12th SS Panzer out of line here. I'm starting to regret ever turning it around in the first place. And move it down towards the Loshine. That's going to let it combine with the panzers that will come in here tomorrow hopefully sweep this away and eliminate this threat to my northern flank. Except that I forgot that they can occupy Stodkill. But now the second is definitely cut off. And any attempt to fix that is going to run into problems. So this was a fairly foolish sequence of moves from the AI over here. If you get a chance to cut off Allied forces, you should almost certainly take it. This still might turn out to be a bad bargain for me because I'm not going to be able to shake these guys loose from Stodkill anytime soon, and that's going to delay the arrival of my big Panzer reinforcements. But there's nothing I can do except press on, so what I'm going to do is move these guys up and try to eliminate the 106. They're isolated, they're not a threat, but on the other hand, they're tying down 2 divisions of infantry that I really want screening my flank here. And that's just fine because they're isolated, they have 1 strength point left, and that means at dawn tomorrow they're going to be forced to surrender, which is just fine from my perspective. So that's the end of the 18th. Have not been rolling the dice I would love to, but definitely keeping the ball moving forward, and it's far from over yet. So, from the German High Command, over and out.